I never thought I'd be the kind of guy who'd swear off being alone in his own house. But after that weekend, the idea of empty rooms and locked doors makes my skin crawl. My name's Alex, and this is the last time I stayed home by myself. It was last October. My parents had been planning this anniversary trip for months. A fantasy cabin up in the mountains. No cell service half the time, just the two of them. I was 17, just starting my senior year of high school, and they finally trusted me enough. "You've got the whole place to yourself, kid," Dad said, clapping me on the shoulder as they loaded the car. "No parties. Keep the doors locked. We'll be back Sunday night." Mom hugged me tight, smelling like her usual lavender soap. "Text us every few hours, okay? And if anything feels off, drive to Aunt Sarah's. Promise?" I promised. I waved as their taillights disappeared down the gravel driveway. Our house sits at the end of a dead-end road, backed by thick woods on three sides. It's old, built in the 40s, with creaky floors and tall windows that look out into nothing but trees. I loved it growing up. That Friday evening, it felt like freedom. I ordered pizza, cranked up some music, and played video games until my eyes burned. Around midnight, I killed the lights and headed upstairs to my room. The house settled around me with those familiar groans. I fell asleep fast. The first thing woke me up at 3:17 a.m. A soft thud from the kitchen, like a cabinet closing. I lay there, heart racing. Probably the fridge compressor, I told myself. Old houses do that. I rolled over and drifted off again. Saturday morning, the sun came in weak and gray. I made coffee and noticed the back door was unlocked. I always lock it. Always. But there it was, the deadbolt turned. That's odd, I thought. I locked it, double-checked the front, and shrugged it off. Big mistake. The day went normal enough. I mowed the lawn, binge-watched a horror series, ironic now, and texted my parents photos of the empty house like a dumb joke. "All quiet on the home front," I typed. Mom replied with a heart emoji. Dad sent back, "Good. Stay inside after dark." After dark. That's when it started getting bad. I was in the living room around 9 p.m., scrolling on my phone, when the TV clicked on by itself. Not to a channel, to static. Loud, hissing static. I jumped, grabbed the remote, and turned it off. The screen went black, but the room felt colder. I checked the plug, secure. Batteries in the remote, fine. I laughed at myself. Getting spooked by her own shadow, Alex. Then the phone rang. My cell, sitting on the coffee table. Unknown number. I answered. "Hello?" Silence. Then a low breath, like someone exhaling right against the mic. "Alex." It was my voice. Exactly my voice, tired and quiet. "Come upstairs," it said. I hung up so fast my thumb cramped. Prank call. Had to be. I blocked the number and paced the room. The woods outside the windows looked thicker, blacker. Branches scratched the glass like fingernails. I told myself it was nothing and went to bed early. Doors locked, lights on. Sleep didn't come easy. Around 2 a.m. I heard footsteps in the hallway. Slow. deliberate, right outside my door. I froze, staring at the knob. It didn't turn. The steps continued down the hall toward my parents' room. Then they disappeared. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. At dawn, I searched the house top to bottom. Nothing out of place, no footprints, no signs of forced entry. I called my buddy Jake around 10 a.m. Dude, you're alone in that creepy ass house? No wonder you're hearing things, he laughed. Want me to come over? Nah, I said, trying to sound casual. Just messing around. But I really did want him to come. I didn't ask. Too much pride, I guess. The afternoon dragged. I tried napping on the couch and woke up to my own voice whispering from the kitchen. Alex, I'm hungry. I bolted upright. The words hung in the air like smoke. I grabbed a knife from the block, not a big one, just the paring knife, and crept in. Empty. The fridge hummed normally. On the counter sat a slice of cold pizza from last night with one bite taken out. I hadn't touched it since Friday. My stomach flipped. I threw the slice away, checked every lock again, and sat in the living room with every light blazing. The sun dipped early that time of year. Shadows stretched long across the hardwood. That's when the notes started. The first one was on the fridge, stuck under a magnet. My handwriting. Loopy, rushed. The way I write when I'm half asleep. Don't look behind you, it said. I spun around. Nothing. I crumpled it, heart hammering, and checked the security camera app on my phone. The footage from the last hour showed me walking to the fridge, writing the note, sticking it there, then going back to the couch. But I hadn't done that. I was on the couch the whole time. I watched it 3 times. Same me. Same clothes. Same tired slump to my shoulders. The timestamp was real time. Panic set in. I called my parents. Dad picked up after 2 rings, voice crackly from the mountains. Everything okay, bud? I told him about the footsteps, the TV, the phone call, the note. I left out the camera part because it would make me sound insane. He was quiet for a second. Alex, houses make noises. You're psyching yourself out. Lock everything. Call the cops if you hear a real intruder. We'll be home tomorrow. Mom got on the line then. Honey, maybe drive to Sarah's. Better safe than sorry. I almost did. But the driveway looked endless in the gathering dark, and what if something followed me? So I stayed. Night 2 fell like a curtain. I barricaded myself in my room with the knife, a baseball bat from the closet, and my laptop playing loud comedy specials so I wouldn't hear the noise. It didn't work. Around 1 a.m., the comedy cut out mid-laugh. Dead silence. Then I heard my voice again, from right outside the door this time. Alex, let me in. It's cold out here. I gripped the bat until my knuckles ached. Who's there? You know who. A soft laugh. My laugh. Open the door. I left something for you. I didn't move. The knob rattled gently, testing. Then the footsteps retreated again. I stayed up until sunrise, eyes burning, jumping at every creak. Sunday morning, I was a wreck. Coffee didn't help. I searched online for houses making voices like you. I know how ridiculous that sounds, but I didn't know what the hell was going on. I found some articles that pointed to carbon monoxide or mold. I opened windows even though it was chilly. I checked the detectors, all green. The power flickered once, then again. On the third flicker, it stayed off. Dead quiet, no hum from the fridge, no furnace, just wind in the trees. I grabbed my phone, 40% battery, no signal bars, storm rolling in. I went to the basement to check the breaker. The basement stairs are narrow, wooden, and they complain with every step. I hate it down there. Damp concrete, old boxes, the water heater rumbling like a beast. I reached the panel, flipped the main breaker. Nothing. I tried it again. Behind me, something scraped, like a shoe on concrete. I whirled around, bat raised. Empty. Nobody there. Just shadows from the small window high up. I backed toward the stairs, and that's when I saw it. Another note, on top of a box. My handwriting again. You left me down here, it said. I ran. Up the stairs, slammed the door, shoved a chair under the knob. My hands shook so bad I dropped the bat twice. Then the power came back on with a surge. Lights blazed. TV blared static again. Then resolved into my bedroom camera feed? I don't have bedroom cameras. But there I was on the TV screen, sitting on my bed, staring at the door. Except I was downstairs. The on-screen me slowly turned toward the camera and smiled. Not my smile, too wide, teeth showing too much. It waved. I smashed the TV with the bat. Glass exploded. Silence again. Then my phone rang. My own number calling me. I answered, voice hoarse. What do you want? The other me sounded calm, relieved. To come inside. You've been out here so long. It's my turn now. I hung up and dialed Jake as quickly as possible. Straight to voicemail. I left a rambling message. Dude, something's wrong in my house. Get over here, please. No answer. The signal kept dropping. I paced the living room, bat in one hand, knife in the other. Every window showed only trees whipping in the wind. Rain started tapping the roof like impatient fingers. Then the mimicking got personal. From upstairs, I heard my mom's voice. Alex, honey, we're home early. Come help with the bags. I almost ran up. But they weren't due until evening and the car hadn't pulled up. I crept to the bottom of the stairs. Mom? Her laugh drifted down. Silly boy, it's cold. Hurry. I took one step. The voice changed to Dad's. Son, you promised you'd keep it locked. Why'd you let it in? I froze. Footsteps descended. Slow, heavy. Not my parents. I backed into the kitchen, eyes on the stairwell. A shape appeared at the top. Tall, My height, my build, wearing my hoodie from yesterday. It started down the steps, face still in shadow. "Stay back," I yelled. It paused on the landing. Light hit its face. My face. But the eyes were wrong. Too dark, like holes. The mouth twitched into that wide smile from the TV. "Alex," it said in my exact voice, gentle. "You've been alone long enough. Let me take over. No more fear." I threw the knife. It stuck in the wall beside its head. The thing didn't flinch, just kept descending, one deliberate step at a time. I ran for the front door, locked. Deadbolt wouldn't turn, jammed somehow. I stumbled, cursing as those footsteps reached the bottom. "Running won't help," it said. "I know every way out. I watched you." I sprinted for the back door. Same problem. Windows wouldn't slide. The house had sealed itself. I rounded the corner into the kitchen. Close now. I could smell it. My cologne mixed with something earthy like grave dirt. I swung the bat, connected with its shoulder. It grunted, my grunt, and grabbed the bat. Strong, unnaturally, we wrestled, its face inches from mine, same stubble, same scar on the eyebrow from childhood. But the eyes, they drank the light. "You think you're the real one," it whispered. "I've been here longer, in the walls, in the mirrors, waiting for you to slip." I headbutted it. Pain exploded in my skull, but it staggered. I yanked the bat free and bolted upstairs, slamming my bedroom door, shoving the dresser against it. It knocked politely, 3 times. "Open up. I have your parents' voices. Want to hear them scream?" I called 911. The operator sounded far away. "911, what's your emergency?" "Something's in my house. It looks like me. It's trying to..." Then static. Then it was my own voice on the line. "Never mind, operator. False alarm. I'm handling it." The call dropped. I was trapped. Rain pounded the roof now, thunder rumbling. The thing outside my door started humming my favorite song, off key the way I do when I'm alone. Hours passed, or minutes. Time blurred. It talked the whole time, told stories only I knew. My first kiss behind the bleachers. The time I stole Dad's beer at 14 and puked in the woods. Secrets I never told anyone. "You left the back door unlocked that first night," it said softly. "Invited me in. Now we're the same." I cried, silent tears, bat across my lap. I thought about jumping from the window, but it's 2 stories and the ground is hard. Eventually the knocking stopped. Footsteps retreated. I waited, every muscle locked. Then, from downstairs, car doors slamming, real ones. Mom calling, "Alex, we're home. The storm cut the trip short." Relief flooded over me. I shoved the dresser aside and raced downstairs. There they were, shaking rain from their coats. Mom smiled. Dad looked tired but happy. I hugged them so hard. You have no idea. Something was here. It looked like. Mom pulled back. Her eyes were too dark. What do you mean, honey? We've been here the whole time. Dad chuckled. My chuckle. You fell asleep on the couch. Bad dream. I stepped back. They moved in sync, blocking the door. Same smiles, too wide. The power flickered again. In that split second of dark, I saw them, 3 of them now, faces melting into mine, eyes like holes. I ran, not upstairs, into the basement, the only place I hadn't fully checked yet. I locked the door behind me, dragged boxes against it, and hid in the far corner behind the water heater. They didn't follow right away. I heard them searching, my voice calling, Alex, where'd you go, buddy? My mom's voice, come out, sweetie. Dad's, this isn't funny. Then silence, long, terrible silence. My phone finally had one bar. I texted Jake again, 911. Someone or something replaced them. Me too, maybe. Help. No reply. Battery at 5%. I waited in the dark, damp concrete soaking my jeans. Hours. The storm raged above. Then a new sound. Scratching at the basement door. Clawing like nails on wood. Alex, my voice said from the other side. It's time. The house is ours now. All of us. The door rattled. The chair and boxes shifted. I gripped the bat. If I swung hard enough, maybe I could take one down. But how many were there? The door burst open. Lights spilled down. 3 silhouettes at the top. All me. Different clothes. Same face. They descended together. I swung. Hit the first one in the ribs. It folded with a wet crack. The second grabbed my arm. The third smiled. Shh, it said. No more alone. I fought. I screamed. I bit and kicked. But they were stronger. They knew every move I'd make because they'd watched me my whole life. They dragged me upstairs. The house looked normal. Lights on, TV playing my show. But outside the windows, the woods had changed. Deeper. Hungrier. They sat me on the couch, one on each side. The third knelt in front. You're tired, it said. You've been carrying this all alone. Let us in. I felt it then, a pulling, like my shadow detaching, memories flickering. Was I ever really alone? The last thing I remember clearly is the rain stopping, dawn light creeping in, and me, or something that was me, standing up, stretching and saying out loud, finally, they're gone. My parents came home Sunday night, the real ones. They found me sitting in the living room, calm, smiling. I hugged them, told them everything was fine. The house felt great. But when I looked in the mirror later, the eyes weren't quite right. A little too dark. And sometimes, when the house is quiet, I hear myself whispering from another room, telling secrets, waiting. And that's why I'll never stay home alone again, because I'm not sure I'm alone anymore. And the others, they're better at pretending to be me than I ever was. If you're listening to this and you're home by yourself right now, check the locks, check the mirrors, and whatever you do, don't answer when you hear your own voice calling from the dark. It already knows your name.